accidentally released a wish-granting genie. I made a wish with all my heart. A windfall of money without working. Blossoming romance, a beauty in my arms. The next second, my nemesis fell right into my arms. The genie's cheeky voice came over. You shouldn't be too greedy. Randomly granting one wish. Beauty in arms delivered. Wishing you a happy life, dear. I met the woman's eyes full of shock and suspicion. My brain instantly crashed. Scared, I bounced to the sofa a meter away. My vision went black. Wishing I could just faint right there. Oh God, this naked woman in front of me is clearly my type. He turns the table, I drink water. His breaking nemesis. Liu Ruyan, this face I've hated with a passion since childhood. Even if turned to ashes, I could still recognize her. Xu Yezhou, what the hell are you doing? Liu Ruyan tugged at the bath towel that was about to fall. To be honest, I am more anxious than her right now. Want to know what on earth is going on even more. Is my big beauty just gone like that? Just as I wanted to ask. The genie's cheeky voice came over. Can't be too greedy. Too many wishes. Can only randomly grant one. Beauty and doubt delivered. Wish, dear Li. Happy life. After saying that, he vanished with a whoosh, giving me no time to accept or cushion the blow. I gritted my teeth and shouted, wanting to cry but having no tears. You give me back my revenge. Give me back my beauty. Tisk tsk. Didn't see that coming. Xu Yizhou, after the genie disappeared, Liu Ruyan raised, a smile hovering at the corner of her lips, looking all nonchalant. Spoke up, even your wish was to be with me. Do you have a secret crush on me? If you beg me, I might barely consider it. Her gloating words pissed me off to death, me who essentially just lost 1,000. I stiffened my neck and retorted angrily. Who likes you? Narcissist, there's never a time I meet you that isn't unlucky. And the person I wished for was clearly Bai Mingbing. Has nothing to do with a big fool like you. Bai Mingbing is the law department beauty of university. Not only is she beautiful, her personality is even more gentle. Countless suitors in school, hearing the 3 words Bai Yunbing, Liu Ruyan's smiling face instantly turned gloomy. Then she smiled mockingly. Riding a donkey to find a horse, Xu Yizhou. I thought your taste was so good. Didn't expect you to pick and choose only to find a perennial runner-up. No wonder Liu Ruyan is arrogant. She transferred back during middle school. Since then, the first place in Nanqing No. 1 middle school fell from Bai Mingbing's hands to hers until the college entrance exam ended. Even now that both are at university, Liu Ruyan's titles of campus queen and top scholar are still the school's main attraction. Never playing second fiddle to anyone. But so what? Finding a girlfriend isn't like finding a bidding merchant. I stood up with a swish, puffed out my chest in fun fit. So what if she's second? Bai Mingbing is gentle, polite, and has a good personality. Unlike some people, even if they are first, they can't change their bad character and stinky temper. Annoying. As soon as the words fell, Liu Ruyan's eyes instantly grew colder. I braced myself, leaned in, and glared back at her. Stalemate for a while. She suddenly scoffed. A pair of shining peach blossom eyes narrowed slightly, looking at me with a glint of cunning in her gaze. Xu Yizhou, today is the weekend. If I guessed correctly, auntie and uncle are still home, right? For a moment. What does this have to do with our argument? Liu Ruyan smiled, her hand suggestively hooking the bath towel, her tone very punchable. Say, if I went out like this to say hi to auntie and uncle, how would you explain it? My face turned green instantly. If there were a ranking of people I fear most in the world, then the top spot would definitely be my dad. If he found out his best friend's daughter was trying to cover up in a ragged towel and coming out of my room to greet him, it'd definitely be entangled with this shameless villain Liu Ruyan for life. Even if I ate a bear's heart and a leopard's gall, I wouldn't dare challenge my dad's feather duster. Liu Ruyan's methods are truly despicable. She really seized my weak point. I hurriedly rushed to the door, grabbed her, and put on a fawning smile. Liu Ruyan, we can talk this over, right? She let me hold her arm, didn't move her feet, and propped her other hand on the wall beside us. What? Young Master Su has the heart but not the guts? I took a deep breath, then smiled and said, speak. Sister Liu, what will it take for you to have mercy? Oh, Yu Wayan deliberately enunciated every word. It's fine if you want me to let you off, but you have to agree to one condition. I looked at her, ominous feeling rising throughout my body. What condition? Ruyan looked at me, her gaze sliding from my brow to my lips. She was about to speak when I interrupted her. Let me state first. My heart belongs to someone else. I sell my skills, not my body. Hearing this, her eyes flashed, and she said through gritted teeth, Xu Yizhou, you're overthinking it. I wouldn't be interested in falling into my hands. How could I pass up this good chance to torture you? I can let you go, but you have to be my sidekick for a month. The on-call kind. Got it? I was pinned by her, unable to struggle free. My face couldn't stop burning, spreading from my neck to the tips of my ears. There was nowhere to hide. Liu Ruyan had a smile on her lips, the aggression in her eyes, like a beast lurking at night, making my heart pound with fear. I could only refute weakly. In your dreams, she shrugged as if she hadn't heard, her other hand quickly fishing the phone out of my jacket. She skillfully unlocked it, then held it high, panning the camera around the room, then aimed it at me, then at herself, and finally didn't forget to send the video and photos to her phone, saying oh my while operating it. Since young Master Su can't do it, I guess he'll just go out and say hi to auntie and uncle, and tell them, by the way, the only plan now is to submit. I broke free from her hand, glaring at her angrily. Fine, 1 month it is. After hearing me agree, Liu Ruyan finally stopped taking photos, waving the phone in front of me, indicating she held the evidence, then handed it to me, smiling happily. So how do I get out? Miss Big Shot won't make me run out naked, right? If it were a few minutes ago, I would not only make her run out naked, but also kick her while she's down, and post it so she'd make the social news. But now, I can only resign myself to rummaging through boxes and cabinets. After a good while, I finally found a pair of sweatpants with an elastic waist, and threw them into his arms. Put them on quickly, later when you hear my signal. You sneak out quietly. Do you hear me? Liu Ruyan nodded, and made an okay gesture at me. Then he yanked off the bath towel around his waist. In an instant, my hands reacted faster than my brain, screaming blindly while covering my eyes, afraid of seeing something I shouldn't and getting a sty. Ah, Liu Ruyan, you are crazy. He was also startled by me, with one foot still stuck in the pant leg, almost falling flat on his face. Xu Yizhou, what are you thinking? I put it on, I covered my eyes, but I didn't believe him. He sped up his movements, pulling down the pant legs that couldn't cover his ankles, and said casually, then you better scream a bit louder. Otherwise, how will you attract the aunts and uncles over here? Damn, how did I forget about that? If this gets discovered, I definitely want to escape a mixed doubles beating. I hurriedly covered my mouth, but my dad still knocked on the door the next second, laughing loudly one moment, and screaming aha the next. Xu Yizhou, are you performing a shamanic dance in there? I was catching up on a show. Oh, in broad daylight. I thought you were exercising evil spirits. My dad laughed sarcastically. Before he left, Liu Ruyan raised his eyebrows at me from the shadows. His thin lips parted lightly, and he silently mouthed a few words. I recognized them. What he said was, young Master Su. 1 month. Oh, taking a deep breath. I clenched my fists, trying to steal a chicken, but losing the rice. Damn big loss. The grudge between Liu Ruyan and me couldn't be finished in 3 days and 3 nights. Actually, he and I were initially considered mortal enemies. Our dads both grew up in the same courtyard, and are brothers who know each other inside out. The relationship was naturally close. Him as a child was vastly different from his punchable face now. At that time, Liu Ruyan was still a cool, aloof girl, ignoring everyone, except for me. He had almost no friends. If he had any fresh good things, he always thought of me first. I also liked being with Lu Ruoyan very much. I even told her that my favorite goddess was Bai Minging. In my heart, I treated her as my closest sister, the best friend, that no one could surpass. I thought it was the same in his heart. But something unexpected happened. Without warning, Lu Ruoyan started to deliberately distance himself from me. I asked him to play with my newly bought toys, or eat at a newly opened dessert shop, but he always used doing homework as an excuse to coldly refuse. Even as dense as I am, I slowly realized something was wrong. I didn't know how I offended Lu Ruoyan to make him angry, but my first reaction was to apologize. So I tearfully smashed my beloved piggy bank, and spent a huge sum to buy a Lego set. That day I was extremely happy, guessing he would definitely like it and forgive me after accepting it. But Lu Ruoyan acted sarcastically. Is this unique to me, or does everyone have one? The one who likes Lego most is Bai Ling Bing. I was left numb by his question. Lu Ruoyan, don't be angry anymore. Aren't we best friends? What does it matter? Anyway, I don't want to be your friend. After saying that, Lu Ruoyan turned and left, leaving me standing there alone. After he left, I cried miserably. I didn't even know if it was because I was confused, so I earned his dislike, or if I was hurt by his words about not wanting to be friends. So from then on, I stopped pressing my warm face against his cold butt. Lu Ruoyan also successfully went from my best friend to my most hated person, bar none. Until a week later, my dad told me their whole family moved abroad. Our deep hatred came to a temporary pause, but they say enemies are bound to meet. In the first year of middle school, Lu Ruoyan stormed back and suddenly squeezed out Bai Minging, becoming my new deskmate. My parents are both teachers at Nanchang No. 1 Middle School. One teaches math, one English. Maybe things reverse when they reach an extreme. Even if they have students everywhere, they couldn't stop their own family from producing a dud, giving birth to a semi-illiterate anomaly like me. Whenever they think of this, they have a look of heartache and distress. I heard the news and rushed to argue with my dad. Before I could finish speaking, I was forced to take a political ideology lesson. He called it by the nice name. Lu Ruoyan just returned to the country. Acquaintances should look out for each other. Shu Yizhou, don't bully him. I was dumbfounded. I simply couldn't believe my ears. I immediately played the victim, suddenly changing deskmates. I won't be able to adapt. Aren't you afraid my grades will drop? As soon as I said this, my dad almost spat out a mouthful of tea. With those grades of yours, I don't even bother mentioning them. And you're afraid of being influenced. Is there any room left to drop? Since then, the seat next to me was occupied by Lu Ruoyan. I don't know if he secretly took life number 1 abroad, leaving everyone behind in a monthly exam, like a dark horse charging out. Since then, firmly sitting at the top of the grade, my dad's catchphrase for me also changed from family misfortune to look at Lu Ruoyan. Look at yourself. These words have calloused my ears. My own failure is certainly painful, but the success of a nemesis is even more heartbreaking. I thought that with us despising each other, life could still barely go on. Unexpectedly, Lu Ruoyan took on multiple roles this time, not only cutting off my good luck, but also destroying my romance. Every time a girl came to talk to me, she would inevitably be met with his cold stare. Lu Ruoyan said with an annoying tone, still like Bai Yunbing. I stiffened my neck. Why not? She leaned in and twirled her pen, gave a light snort, then added fuel to the fire about the matter, and told my dad, I don't need to think with my toes to know that Lu Ruoyan snitched on this. Unexpectedly, after returning, he lost his childhood coolness and became shameless and despicable instead. Thus I was completely at odds with Lu Ruoyan. Throughout high school, my life was absolutely miserable. After all, the homeroom teacher was the him I feared most, and my deskmate became the him I hated most. Life, was like walking on thin ice, but at least because there was a hateful snitch next to me, so I didn't dare to slack off in class. So that my grades took a qualitative leap, and I successfully got into a key university in Nanchang, making my parents think our ancestral grave was smoking. The next day, I had just gotten up. My dad acted uncharacteristically, smilingly, came around. Your aunt wants to set you up on a date. Go meet her. I hurriedly retorted, but I haven't graduated from university yet. So what? Your mom and I are old fogies. Besides, your aunt has mentioned it many times. Just go meet her if you don't like her after meeting. Thanks, but I just had a scan this year. My brain has no problems for now. After saying that, I turned and walked away. As a result, as soon as I got out of the elevator, I found Lu Ruoyan standing right at the door ready to go up, wearing a thin white hoodie and gray sweatpants, with a pair of sneakers on her feet. But at this moment I had no mood to appreciate it. I just wanted to leave this place of trouble quickly. Why are you here too? Lu Ruoyan's gaze paused, tilting, her head looking at me. This is a restaurant. What else would I come here for? Surely not to use the toilet. I didn't want to argue with her, hurrying to rush out. Fine, then Miss Lu, hurry up and go dine in the toilet. Just turned around when I was grabbed by her. Where are you going? Keep me company for a meal. I can't run fast enough right now. Where would I have the mood to eat? If I bump back into that blind date girl and Lu Ruoyan finds out, with her wicked personality, who knows how she will ruthlessly mock me in the future. So I subconsciously waved my hands repeatedly, retreating while walking. No, I just ate and I'm going home. Lu Ruoyan put one hand in her pocket, stared at me suspiciously for a few seconds. Forget it, let's go. He'll take you home first. I just wanted to refuse. Before the words came out, I turned my head and saw the woman I just met was about to come down from the escalator. I didn't even think. Grabbed Lu Ruoyan's hand and started running. Until we got in the car, I finally let out a sigh of relief. Lu Ruoyan turned her head and glanced at me, with a teasing smile on the corners of her mouth. Su Yizhou, are you hiding from a woman? So guilty. I was so scared my heart almost popped out. Guiltily took out my phone and poked the screen randomly, pretending to be very busy. What nonsense are you talking about? Drive your car. Stop asking about social matters. Just finished retorting. My finger frantically touched the voice message my dad sent. Did you meet the person? How is the date your aunt talked about? Do you like her? The air went silent for a moment. Lu Ruoyan suddenly turned and looked at me. Her expression went cold in an instant. Then she parked the car on the side of the road. Shu Yizhou, you went on a blind date? Seeing that I couldn't hide it anymore, I had to lean close and mutter. After saying yes, Lu Ruoyan's face turned dark, unbuckled the seatbelt, slowly approached me. Her delicate white soft fingertips pinched my chin. You really know how to challenge my bottom line. Her chest heaved, as if suppressing anger. Wait, what does this have to do with her? I met a weirdo, and I'm not even angry yet. Besides, what reason does she have to control me? I looked completely confused. Lu Ruoyan sneered. The next second, as if thinking of something, he grunted in annoyance. His tone was prickly, looking like you were panicking. Obviously you got rejected. Serves you right. Meeting a weirdo was already annoying enough. Yet he couldn't read the room, and kept endlessly mocking me. This is intolerable. I don't know what happened. My brain short-circuited. I just wanted to gross him out. So I grabbed his collar, and arrogantly blocked that annoying mouth. Ruoyan was stunned, but quickly reacted, holding the back of my head. The suffocating feeling of air being stolen sobered me up in an instant. Damn, my first kiss. Realizing what happened, I tried desperately to push him away. Hot breath sprayed on the side of my face, making my heart uncontrollably beat poundingly, as if a fawn was jumping around inside. This was the first time I felt this strange palpitation. When I was about to run out of breath, Lu Ruoyan finally let go of me. I wiped my mouth hard. He seemed to have the scent of lemons, infecting even the inside of my mouth. We were extremely close. I saw his tea-colored eyes were crystal clear, like starlight reflected in an autumn pool. So weird, I think I might be possessed. Otherwise, why would I suddenly think Lu Ruyan is quite good looking? The carriage was filled with an ambiguous atmosphere. I swallowed unconsciously. On the way back, I was thinking about Lu Ruyan. What does this mean? Why didn't he push me away when I was grossing him out? Do archenemies kiss their archenemies? I was scratching my head in the passenger seat, while Lu Ruyan beside me didn't look grossed out at all. Instead, he played my favorite song, and hummed along softly, looking like he won the lottery, just as I was puzzled and couldn't figure it out. My dad sent another message of concern. I sighed, tilted my head in the passenger seat, and drifted off to sleep. When I woke up, it was almost evening. The dark decor of the room and the wall full of certificates made me realize without thinking whose room this was. I put on my shoes and smelled the tempting aroma of food as soon as I opened the door. The glass door of the kitchen was closed. Only the range hood was buzzing. The cool breeze blew the curtains. I leaned against the doorframe, watching the busy petite figure in the kitchen. A moment later, Lu Ruyan walked out with the dishes. Seeing me standing there, he smiled. You're awake? Young Master Su sure can sleep. You shouldn't be called Su Yizhou. You should be called Su Little Pig. Damn Lu Ruyan. Mocking me again. I was just about to get angry, but saw the delicious braised pork in his hands, and swallowed my saliva spinelessly. For the sake of the braised pork, sweet and sour ribs, and braised prawns, because I didn't eat lunch. I was starving right now. I picked up the bowl and dug in. Slow down, I call you Su Little Pig, and you get upset. Look at you, how are you not like one? Liu Ruyan sat next to me. She pulled out a wet wipe and wiped her hands, and placed a full bowl of peeled shrimp in front of me. It's all your fault, for making the food so delicious. Okay, blame me. Thank you, young Master Su, for the honor. Liu Ruyan smiled gently, looking like she was in a good mood. Her slightly narrowed eyes looked like they held a crushed galaxy, making me blush. In my heart, it felt like it was beating crazily like I was possessed. Comparing people really drives one mad. This girl is elegant in public and domestic at home, and has good grades to boot. And her cooking is so delicious too. Unbelievable. By the time the mess was almost cleaned up, it was already half an hour later. I stood at the door, changing my shoes, and asked, "You Ruyan, where's my phone?" After hearing my words, she quickly ran out of the kitchen, grabbed my wrist, and said, "Don't go back. I've made the bed in the guest room. Auntie and Uncle aren't home today." She handed me the phone as she spoke, explaining, "Your phone was on silent. Uncle called you when you didn't pick up, so he called me. They went to the seaside with my parents. Here, look if you don't believe me." I took the phone. Sure enough, the screen was full of seaside scenery photos sent by my dad, my parents, and Lai Ruyan's parents. No wonder, since they're friends, they all have the quirk of traveling freely, without bringing their kids. They always meet up to travel when Lu Ruyan and I aren't home. Even worse, they sneak away late at night, leaving the two of us in one house to fend for ourselves. With all these presents, it's too many to list. Forget it. I didn't bring my keys anyway. I changed back into my slippers, just like I used to here, and familiarly slipped into Liu Ruyan's study. I turned on the projector, and picked the hottest TV drama at the moment. Liu Ruyan walked in after cleaning up. She sat beside me and handed me a cushion, then placed the snacks and drinks in her hand. On the small side table, I propped myself up, and turned to adjust the cushion. When my gaze was drawn to a transparent glass case on the desk, I tilted my head to look, and was stunned. Inside was clearly the gift I gave Lu Ruyan when I tried to make peace years ago, before we became sworn enemies. I thought she had thrown it away back then. I didn't expect that after all these years. It would still be preserved so well. So you still kept it? I looked at Lu Ruyan through the glass case. A bit confused, I looked at the person beside me and asked, "Actually, I still don't understand why you suddenly started hating me back then." Liu Ruyan looked over. I don't know what she was thinking of. She looked up, her expression unclear in the dim room. "I didn't hate you." She lowered her eyes, her voice very soft. "I was just very jealous." Shu Yizhou, I was jealous. After saying that, she got up and left. Her retreating figure actually looked a bit lonely. I paused the TV, sitting alone in the study. Liu Ruyan said she didn't hate me. She was just very jealous. What did she mean? Unable to figure it out, I pressed play again, but I didn't pay any attention to the plot. My mind was full of smugness. As expected, and still amazing. After all, even my sworn enemy was jealous. Under the threat of the photo, I was forced to start eating with Liu Ruyan's school, delivering water at games, and other miserable days. Just as I got back to the dorm, I was stopped by my bro Tiang. "Xiu Yizhu, you're always running to the finance department lately. If there's something going on, spill it fast." I pushed his hand away, slumped into the chair and said, "Don't mention it. It's all because of Liu Ruyan." As soon as I said that, Tiang got even more excited. "How many years has this forbidden romance of yours been going on? Our Chinese finally becoming a couple. Hey, I ship it. By the way, when are you two getting married? Upon graduation?" High school best friend has its downsides fully displayed right now. After all, they know your past embarrassments like the back of their hand, making it impossible to find an excuse to lie about getting married. I almost spit water all over his face. I shook my head repeatedly. "Don't scare me like that. It's possible for me to marry anyone, except for La Ruyan. No chance." Tiang looked at me and frowned in confusion. "Don't speak too soon. I think Lu Ruyan is pretty good. If someone else had that face, they would have dated 10 or 8 guys by now. But look at her. Besides you, around her, I'm afraid even a mosquito couldn't get close. Such a big beauty hanging around in front of you all day. I don't believe you feel absolutely nothing. You have to seize the opportunity." I couldn't help but chuckle. When others like someone, it's all flowers and gifts. It turns into pranks and torture here. Her liking me, even a ghost wouldn't believe it. You really are clueless as the one involved. Based on my years of observation, the way Lu Ruyan looks at you is definitely not innocent. "Xiu Yizhou, don't be so stubborn." Tiang continued to stir the pot. I couldn't help but snort softly. The probability of Lu Ruyan liking me is like me telling you right now that I am King Shi Huang, give me 200,000, and the chance of me making you a general after I revive is even lower. I stopped his persuasion, and said through gritted teeth, "Stop trying to matchmake us." A few days later, the finance and law departments faced off on the tennis court, holding a bottle of water. Tiang and I rushed to the tennis hall as soon as class ended, with speed comparable to Su Bentian, and were almost deafened by the high decibel screaming coming our way. We could only cover our ears, and find a place with fewer people. After it ended, Lu Ruyan was still surrounded by a group of team members. I didn't bother squeezing through, encouraged by Tiang's winks and signals. I walked over to Binding Bing. "Binding Bing, have some water." Binding Bing smiled, and thanked me repeatedly. Who knew before she could even reach out her hand? The water was snatched away by Lu Ruyan, who had appeared beside us out of nowhere. "Liu Ruyan, are you crazy? That's for Binding Bing. Didn't someone already give you some?" Liu Ruyan didn't respond. She unscrewed the cap and downed several big gulps. Then she pulled a bottle of water from the class crate and threw it, tossing it to Binding Bing. She raised her eyebrows. "You drink this." After Liu Ruyan was called away, I followed Tiang's plan, and asked Binding Bing out. Looking at her confused expression, I was originally feeling a bit nervous, but the thought of not having to clean for half a semester made me steel my heart and ask Binding Bing, "A boyfriend?" Binding Bing didn't speak for a moment. She just stared straight at me, making me feel a bit uncomfortable all over. I gulped, smiled awkwardly. Don't get me wrong. I'm asking for my roommate. If it's inconvenient to answer, then forget it. "It's okay." Binding Bing looked away, kicked the stone by her foot, and returned to her gentle appearance. "There's nothing I can't say. I don't have a boyfriend." Didn't have one before, probably won't have one in the future. Because I like girls, especially someone like Lu Ruyan. I sighed in relief, patted my chest. So you have someone you like? Congrats. Wait, quaked and instantly turned into panda eyes. A face full of question marks. Who do you like? Who likes Lu Ruyan? You like Lu Ruyan. Bai Lingbing smiled and nodded at me. I was petrified. I opened my mouth. Haven't recovered from the shocking news yet. I came at a bad time. You came just in time. I gulped, gaze wandering over Bai Ningbing. Lu Ruyan was inexplicably unhappy. Grabbed my wrist in front of Bai Ningbing and dragged me away without looking back. By the time I came to my senses, found myself dazedly following him to the rooftop. He held my hand, walked silently to the corner before stopping. The atmosphere was a bit cold. Can't walk when you see Bai Ningbing. Xu Yizhou, you are really love-struck. Don't talk nonsense. She already has someone she likes. I broke free from his hand, feeling a bit of schadenfreude. Lu Ruyan sneered. Why does it sound like? You seem very regretful. That's not it. I shook my head, although Bai Lingbing is my goddess. But what I like is that face. I actually had no improper thoughts about her person. Just was startled by her words. Sad? Naturally not. As for regret, that's even more impossible. But why is Lu Ruyan so angry? For so many years he has never dated anyone. Could it be? I blinked my eyes. Looking at Lu Ruyan in front of me with suspicion. Lu Ruyan, you don't like girls, do you? Lu Ruyan looked confused. What the hell I have, huh? The type she likes is someone like you. I'm asking for her. Lu Ruyan smiled insincerely and said, then do I look like a zero to you? I tilted my head. Then why don't you find a partner? Lu Ruyan pressed the tip of his tongue against his back molars. Xu Yizhu, you are simply the stupidest little pig in the world. For no reason. Why use personal attacks? You are the pig. I roared in a huff. Didn't want to argue with him. Turned to leave. The next second I was yanked back. The distance suddenly closed. Warm air accompanied by lemon scent rushed into my nose. Lu Ruyan grabbed the back of my head with one hand. Gently sank down. But the unhesitating action left no room. Heart about to jump out of the chest. And I stood there in a daze. Xu Yizhou, I like you. Lu Ruyan said solemnly. After returning to the dorm, my mind is in a complete mess. Why is it that hearing Lu Ruyan's confession, my heart beats so fast? Even though I've heard plenty of confessions from others before. Why is it so special specifically with Lu Ruyan? The key is that I don't find it annoying at all. We are arch-enemies after all. How could he possibly fall for me? Or is this a trick Lu Ruyan came up with? Specifically to prank me, after tossing and turning in bed for ages? I decided to seek outside help and sent a message to He-Tiang. He-Tiang, it's just that I have a friend, whose sworn arch-enemy, suddenly confessed to him, and even kissed him. Help me analyze this, okay? No, help analyze it for my friend. What should be done in their situation? He-Tiang immediately video called me. He was laughing uncontrollably on the other end. You were confessed to, plus forcibly kissed. My face turned completely red, and I argued vehemently. No, it's my friend. He-Tiang blinked, looking certain. You were confessed to by Lu Ruyan, plus forcibly kissed. I was momentarily speechless. Seeing my silence, he got even more excited. Quick, confess honestly, kissing school beauty Lu. What did it feel like? Was your heart racing like a deer? My face flushed red. Stop guessing wildly. I will absolutely never admit it. He-Tiang covered his mouth and nodded. Fine. Then may I ask what your friend felt when kissing? I'm curious, is there any necessary connection between the two? Tiang continued. Think about it. If someone you hate forcibly kisses you, then, without a doubt, you would slap them backhand. But if you are flushed red, heart pounding, and not only do you not hate it, but actually enjoy it a bit, then congratulations, you've fallen in love. What? I thought back to when I kissed Lu Ruyan. My heart felt like it was possessed, feeling like it was about to jump out of my chest. Possible? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. How could I like Lu Ruyan? In this moment I couldn't describe the feeling in my heart. After Lu Ruyan broke the ice between us, I started avoiding him. Perhaps my avoidance was too obvious. Not 2 days later, Lu Ruyan found me. I opened the door, not daring to look him in the eye. Do you need something? Seeing me open the door, Lu Ruyan held up the steaming breakfast in his hand. Nothing much. Just dropped by, Yuding Swan, on the way to bring you some breakfast. I remember you used to love the food there. He acted as if nothing had happened. I stood frozen in place, my heart feeling sour and aching, like it had been ruthlessly crushed. Yuding Swan's breakfast is famously hard to buy. Besides, Lu Ruyan lives in the east of the city. How is it on the way to buy breakfast in the west? He can't even tell a lie properly, and heads to the top of the academy? Clearly a dummy. I paused for a moment, leaned in to look at him. Don't do this anymore. Heaven and earth be my witness. My intention in saying this was just to stop him from going to such trouble. It's hard to cue and far away. It's quite exhausting. But I don't know if Lu Ruyan misunderstood my meaning. He suddenly paused. The hand holding the bag was trembling slightly. I like you. I just wanted to express my feelings to you, not to demand a relationship. Don't avoid me anymore, okay? There was a hint of pleading in his words. Not knowing what to say, I lowered my head again. Silence fell. It was hard to imagine that the usually unruly him would have this side. If it were usual, I would definitely record a video to post on Moments and frantically mock him while I was at it. But now I surprisingly had no mood at all, seeing me silent. He nodded understandingly, forcefully stuffed the breakfast into my hand. Sorry, Xu Yizhou, for causing you trouble. You don't need to avoid me anymore. After saying that, he turned and left. His back looked exceptionally lonely. After that, the two people who used to bump into each other everywhere surprisingly never met again. Even if we met by chance, he would quickly disappear from my sight, as if he had made up his mind to draw a line. People are really complex. In the past, if I could go a day without battling wits with Lu Ruyan, I would be overjoyed. But now I couldn't describe my inner feelings. Every day I was anxious and upset, to the point where I got several mouth ulcers. Why would I be unhappy? Xu Yizhou, guess who I just met in the art room? Lu Ruyan. I glanced over. He seemed to be preparing a study abroad application. Did you know about this? He-Tiang leaned over with a puzzled look. I was stunned. My mind went blank instantly. It took a long time to process He-Tiang's words, trembling voice, asking, are you sure you didn't see wrong? Lu Ruyan, how could I mistake him? When I went there, he just left holding the application form and IELTS report. Tears instantly blurred my vision. Hearing this news, my first reaction was fear and reluctance. The tight string in my heart completely snapped, only separated for a few short days, and I was anxious and stressed. I couldn't imagine life without Lu Ruyan. I don't think it's because I fell for Lu Ruyan. I really did fall in love with my nemesis. After figuring it out, I ran around like a headless fly, searching all the places Lu Ruyan usually went to in my memory. My body was already exhausted. Every step felt like dragging heavy chains. Finally, when my strength was about to run out, on the rooftop where the confession happened, I found Lu Ruyan. He stood behind the railing, back facing me, looking a bit lonely. His hair was blown slightly fluttering. Hearing the sound, Lu Ruyan seemed to sense something and turned back. I walked up to his side. My heartbeat, which hadn't calmed down yet, was pounding at this moment. Lu Ruyan, are you going abroad? I tilted my head and looked at him, asking with difficulty. Hearing this, Lu Ruyan's handsome brows furrowed. Who told you that? As soon as I heard his voice, my tears couldn't stop falling completely. Someone saw it, coming out of the art room, holding application materials in hand. Lu Ruyan's eyes widened. subconsciously stepping forward to wipe my tears. With a crying tone, I stammered and asked, "Do you really have to go?" Liu Ruoyan stared at me blankly for a few seconds. As if suddenly realizing something, he said, withdrew his hand, a half-smile curling at the corners of his mouth. "I do have that intention. After all, staying here is just annoying. Might as well leave this sad place." His voice was calm, like a scraper across the eardrum, carrying a hint of self-mockery. My whole body stiffened instantly, even though it was a midsummer night. It felt like being on the edge of ice. In a trance, my thoughts flew back. I remember the first time I saw Liu Ruoyan. He was very good-looking but didn't fit in. When playing house, he could never find a partner, and always pretended to dislike playing childish games. Back then, everyone was afraid of him. How could anyone not like playing house? I didn't believe it, so I ran over and held his hand. In my memory, Liu Ruoyan seemed very surprised. "Are you not afraid of me?" I handed him a lemon-flavored lollipop. "Why should I be afraid? Will you also, like my dad, spank people's butts?" Liu Ruoyan shook his head helplessly. "No, but the other kids say I look fierce." "It's okay." I pulled his hand and squatted in the sandpit, and handed him a small shovel. "My dad is fierce too. You can just play him. Then I will be the mom, and we can be a family." Liu Ruoyan took the shovel, glanced at me, nodded and said, "Okay, we were clearly childhood sweethearts. How could such a good relationship just end?" Undeniably, I had long regarded Liu Ruoyan as indispensable in my life. I cannot lose him. "Can you not go?" I looked at Liu Ruoyan and pulled her sleeve. Warm fingertips brushed past the corner of my eye. Liu Ruoyan sighed helplessly, his tone straightforward. "Then in what capacity are you asking me to stay? Friends? Sorry, Shu Yizhou, we can't be friends." "What do you mean?" I stood frozen in place. "Actually, I don't have to leave. But there must be a reason to stay." Liu Ruoyan paused, tucked my windblown hair behind my ear. "Young Master Su, why do you want me to stay?" "Because I like you, regardless of everything." I confessed all the suppressed words in my heart. The faint smell of tobacco permeated the air on the rooftop. Liu Ruoyan froze for a second, breathing rapidly. He stared at me with burning eyes and said, "Say what?" I looked back at him and said word by word, "Shu Yizhou likes Liu Ruoyan. I don't know if Liu Ruoyan is willing to stay for her for this reason." Under the starry sky, Liu Ruoyan's dark eyes were deeper than usual, carrying tenderness and a smile. She smiled, recovered, and used a wet hot kiss instead of an answer. A soft touch landed on the center of my brows, and the tip of my nose. After a moment, Liu Ruoyan said in a husky voice, "This is my answer. Do you understand?" Panting, I looked at him and nodded my head under the light. Our embracing shadows lengthened and overlapped. After announcing our relationship, all my friends dropped their jaws. Only He Tiang, with a look of everyone is drunk but I am sober, and an expression saying, "Bro saw through it long ago." "Ah, will Qin Shi Huang still appoint me as the great general?" I instantly turned into the fake smile boy, offering him milk tea as an apology. Later I found out there was no such thing as studying abroad at all. The cause of this was that Liu Ruoyan was rarely enthusiastic for once. Roommates repeated public cries of "Mom." He was forced to go to the art room to get materials for the other person. As for him leaving the sad place to study abroad, it was all bullshit. I was furious. But Liu Ruoyan shamelessly said, "I, Mr. Liu, am doing good deeds. Isn't doing all this just to chase my husband? Using any scheme is not shameful." I was choked by these words and speechless for a moment. A beauty delivered herself to the door so quickly, and dressed coolly, the kind with a wild body. I asked Liu Ruoyan, "Then if you like me, why did you distance yourself from me? And what did you mean by jealousy earlier?" Liu Ruoyan leaned over, leaning on my shoulder. "Maybe you are too good, just like a great hero falling from the sky, willing to be friends with me, and bringing me lemon-flavored lollipops." I was so confused. "You think I'm good? Why distance yourself from me instead?" Liu Ruoyan pinched my palm, answering softly, "Because your kindness is too fair. Shu Yizhou, in your eyes, I am no different from others. You are equally good to everyone. The toys I gave you, you would lend to others. The lemon lollipops I like, you wouldn't keep solely for me." He lifted his fingertips, gently stroking my warm cheek. "I am very stingy, and also very jealous. What about now?" Now Liu Ruoyan sat up. A warm kiss landed on my lips.